Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
Ma'am, listen. Okay, I want you to say now every single time he takes a breath in.
A 911 operator and a Detroit mother make a miracle happen.
A 9-year-old attacked by a dog while riding his bike, and even worse, he says the pet owner just took off. Tonight, his family wants some answers.
But first, a live look at a very green 4 Live radar as rain moves through the area. That story tops our news. A wet night tonight with some rumbles of thunder here and there, too.
Start things off with Ben, who's tracking big April showers coming in.
That's right, Kim and Devin. About half the area is still getting wet. A lot of the steady rain right now is north of Detroit. And even though it's starting to dry out in our south zone, we still have scattered showers that are going to take us through the overnight hours. There'll be a lot more dry spots in between as we head towards daybreak tomorrow. Not going to be a completely dry commute, though. We will be seeing some showers around, especially across the northern half of the area. That'll take us into the mid-morning hours. After that, things do start to wind down. Temperature-wise, we're actually going up towards morning. In fact, we're going to hit tomorrow's high right about there in the mid-50s and then see the numbers come into the 40s in the afternoon. We'll look at some wind chills. We'll look at Friday's opening day forecast and a pretty nice weekend ahead, all in just a few minutes, Kim.
Hey, Ben, the search is on tonight for a 3-year-old little girl who was taken by her father in Holly. Madeline Owens was last seen Sunday. Police are searching for her father. He's 26-year-old Brent Owens in connection to an assault that happened with her mother as the two go through a separation. We've learned her mother got a call from Brent just a short time ago, which brought a sense of relief for the family.
Didn't know where he was, what he had done. I'm relieved because he's still obviously around and hopefully my granddaughter's still with him. So it's a bit of a relief, if we can just find him.
Now, Brent Owens was last seen in a blue 2012 Dodge Journey with a license plate DCJ 4093. Anyone with information is asked to call 911 or Michigan State Police.
Detroit 911 operator is being called a hero tonight after she coached a Detroit woman through CPR that saved her husband's life. Mara McDonald standing by with the story. Mara, these operators never know what's going to come in, and often they don't know what happens after the call ends.
They sure don't, Devin, simply because of the way the laws are written about release of medical information. But in this case, this family wanted Detroit 911 to know. So let me introduce you to 2 women who made all the difference.
Sunday, December 25th, 2016.
It was Christmas morning in the Samuels house.
Christmas was great. We started out going to church.
Came home and thought they'd take a quick nap.
And I just happened to hear him take a breath that seemed a little out of ordinary.
Tanya's instincts were right on. Seconds later, she realized her husband wouldn't wake up. She called 911.
Detroit 911, what is the address of the emergency?
That 911 operator was Raquel Mayo.
I always imagine that being me in that situation. And I imagine it being a family member or someone really close to me.
Ma'am, is he breathing completely normal?
No, he's not breathing normal.
It was Raquel who told Tanya to get John on the floor and talked her through CPR. All 100 pounds of Tanya sprang into action.
Count out loud so that I can count with you.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Ma'am.
Everything she was telling me initially, I was thinking, I don't know if I can do that.
But she did. Those chest compressions saved her husband's life until Detroit firefighters got there.
I did not realize I was so aggressive.
John, for his part, woke up in the ER and had no idea why he was there. But his first instinct was to reach for Tanya.
I remember holding her hand. And just trying to show that I was okay.
Back here live, the other thing that made all the difference in this case is how fast Detroit firefighters got to that house. And you'll note I said firefighters. You'll remember that under Mayor Duggan, the push was made to make all Detroit firefighters medical responders as well. It has shaved off 2 minutes of time on Detroit's response times, which is a big deal, bringing it far more in line with the national average. Devin, Kimberly. Back to you.
It's no exaggeration when they tell us that seconds count here, Mara, but I'm wondering if the doctors believe he would have survived without those chest compressions.
Absolutely not, Devin.
Yeah.
They said that between Raquel And Tanya, you know, I mean, Tanya told me, she's like, she threw all 100 pounds of her into those compressions, and she was, even when the firefighters were at the door, she ran down, she opened the door, and then she ran back up and kept those compressions going. I mean, she was in it, and her husband told me, he goes, you know, 3 weeks later, my chest still really hurt. I've got to respect how strong she is.
Yeah, amazing stuff. Wow, what a story. All right, Mara. A new dash cam video of a police chase that ended in a crash on Detroit's west side. The 42-year-old driver is suspected of robbing a Livonia 7-Eleven armed with a crowbar. Police tried to initiate a traffic stop, but he kept going, running red lights, blowing through stop signs. Then the man crashed into 3 cars near the Lodge in 7 Mile, where he was arrested, and fortunately no one was seriously hurt.
A third grader bandaged and bruised after being attacked by a large dog while riding his bicycle. And even worse, he says the dog owner just kept walking. And now an investigation is underway. Priya Mann is live in Warren where this happened. And Priya, does the family believe that the owner maybe lives nearby?
Kimberly, they do. They say they've been extra vigilant ever since. Now, this woman was walking 2 large dogs, each weighing about 70 pounds. One was white and brown. The dog that bit Matthew was a heavy-set, short, stocky black dog. Now, Matthew was riding his bike here when that dog lunged and the owner took off.
Stung, like bad.
9-year-old Matthew Butsu showed off his bandaged leg, now bruised but healing after a dog bite.
It was kind of scary to be riding my bike and then have a dog chase after you and bite you for no reason.
Early Sunday afternoon, Matthew was riding his bike on Racing Road near Ridgefield in Warren. As he biked to a friend's home, he passed a woman walking 2 large dogs.
The dogs have really long leashes. The black one kind of chased forward and tried to bite me, which he succeeded in.
Matthew says the owner knew what her dog had done.
I pulled up my pant leg, and she saw it bleeding, and she just left. There's another person walking by. She asked, "Is he okay?" She didn't ask me, and he just kept walking.
I'm just angry, and I don't understand leaving a kid who obviously was injured.
Matthew was able to bike to his friend's home, but his parents rushed him to the hospital. They say it's unnerving not knowing anything about the dog in question, if it's up to date on vaccines or has done this before.
It's just a matter of a simple phone call. Just call me. Tell me what happened. All I'm going to ask you to do is take responsibility.
This 9-year-old has some common sense advice for the dog owner.
You need to watch your dog. Like, I don't think you should just kind of stand there. I feel like you should be making sure that dog can't bite people.
Very wise words indeed from that third grader. Now, this is a family that loves dogs. They don't want anything to happen to the dog that bit Matthew, but they want this owner to come forward. They're asking anyone with information to contact Warren Police. They don't want dog owners in the area to be confronted by concerned neighbors. Animal Control now investigating. Reporting live from Warren, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
All right, Priya. Breaking news now just into the Local 4 newsroom. Detroit police are investigating a deadly hit-and-run accident. This happened at Kelly Road and Novara, which is on the city's east side. The identity of the victim unknown at this time. We do know it's a male. That's pretty much all we have to go on, but the investigation continues. Updates as soon as they're available to us. Also tonight, prayers are being sent to 2 Good Samaritans who are in the hospital tonight after they were injured while trying to help the victims of a crash on I-96. A group of teens flipped their Jeep on Sunday. 17-year-old Sean English stopped to help, as did Dr. Cynthia Ray, and both were struck by another vehicle driven by a teen who lost control. That teen driver and Dr. Ray are in critical condition tonight. Sean English had to have his foot amputated. The teens in the Jeep suffered minor injuries. The investigation goes on.
Well, they seem to confuse a whole lot of people. And starting tomorrow, drivers who misuse roundabouts in Washtenaw County will be stopped. 4 law enforcement agencies are stepping up patrols at high crash roundabouts in the county. Most crashes occur when drivers fail to yield or turn from the wrong lane. The crackdown goes through May 1st. If you need a refresher course on how to use roundabouts, you can go to our website. We have a little tutorial there. Just go to clickondetroit.com.
Remember, these were supposed to make it safer.
Not so much.
Yeah. It's been tough.
All right, they were locked and loaded. Chilling video shows the moment 3 intruders entered a home with their guns drawn, but they leave with nothing. The bizarre story coming up.
Also a close call. You'll see a frightening moment as lightning and thunder rattle the sky during a major storm.
But first, child predators tricking children.
People who do that kind of thing tend to do it over and over and over again.
The defenders expose their disturbing deception so you can protect your kids. That's next.
There has been a historic rise in the distribution of child pornography in recent years.
And a lot of it is coming from adults tricking minors into taking and sending photos and videos of themselves.
Defender Kevin Dietz with a warning about the elaborate schemes and terrifying threats children are facing online.
With the advancement of computers, smartphones, and social media, police are busting more child predators than ever before. And with each new case comes disturbing deceptions that every parent and teen should know about. Smartphones have changed the game when it comes to child pornography. It's never been easier to snap, send, or post a picture. And predators know it. Federal court dockets filling up with cases where children are victimized. Each charge exposing just how sick many of these individuals are.
The sad part about sex offenders is that the recidivism rate is very high, but once they offend, they tend to reoffend.
Dr. Gerald Shiner is an expert in criminal psychology. He tells us each disturbing sex offender case also provides valuable information for parents looking to protect their children. 2 weeks ago, Lincoln Park resident Edward Reardon was sentenced in federal court. In his file, disturbing deceptions to try and lure kids on Facebook. Reardon sending personal messages to teenagers and eventually an undercover cop with photos of $100, $50, and $1 bills, offering $200 to meet a 15-year-old and $2,500 for naked photos. He offered to buy a red dress for a girl and told one teen to drug her friend's Kool-Aid and take photos of her after she passed out.
Never add folks, never talk to anybody. Always be aware of just new stuff, and if she sees something that she's not comfortable with, to come and talk to us.
Parents never think it will happen to their kids, but Reardon was talking to many children, and when busted, he had the nerve to write the judge a letter saying, quote, "I beg of you with a sincere and humble heart to please impose the absolute minimum the law allows," adding, "I'm confident that I'll live the rest of my life a better person who cares for others."
For that person to write a letter saying that, "How better? It's gone. I fixed it," probably smacks, at least to a judge, of someone who is not being true.
The judge locked Reardon up for 15 years. Another lesson for teens and parents comes from this federal search warrant, unsealed last week. This home in Belleville was raided. Inside, evidence of a different plan to deceive young girls. According to court records, a 31-year-old man created a profile photo with a picture of a young boy with short blonde hair. He appeared to be about 13 or 14 years old, sending private Facebook messages to young girls, eventually asking to exchange naked pictures. When one girl said she can't because she's using her mom's phone, the man offers to buy her a new phone and pay the bill, reminding the teenage girl not to tell her mom.
Especially if they're not aware of the kind of stuff that's on social media, I think it's very easy for them to get tricked into that stuff.
Despite the shock and fear from parents and teens and the long prison terms for those who are caught, new cases come into the courthouse every week. Authorities say the predator playbook is constantly changing, and the best way to protect your kids is to convince them that strangers online are just as dangerous, if not more, than strangers in person. And if your child is suspicious of someone, don't just have them defriend them, have them contact the police. Kevin Dietz, Defenders.
I've long theorized that in the old days, people that were into child porn were kind of self-isolating. Mm-hmm. Now, the internet has convinced them that there's a community that they can be a part of. And it's awful.
So important to talk to your kids, too,
no doubt
about it.
Yep.
All right, here's a look at what Hank is working on for tomorrow night.
A trip to the grocery store, it can cost you hundreds of dollars, but you can save big money if you know how to play the coupon game.
For all of this, I paid $20.
I know saving coupons can seem overwhelming, but now it's Help Me Hank to the rescue. Simple saving strategies to maximize your time and your money tomorrow at 11.
Well, Paisley is in again, and it's kind of what it looks like on radar.
All over
right
the
now.
radar, right?
Very imaginative look.
That's what it looks like to me.
Our
Yes,
scientific
yes.
tools. But yeah, we've seen a lot of colors on there. Even though it hasn't amounted to a lot, it's just been persistent.
Yeah.
And we'll probably see some more as we head towards morning, too. Here's a live look now at the radar. And as the one push of steady rain lifts north of the city, we've got more developing. And in fact, this area that's down here in central Indiana starting to expand a little bit. I think by the time that sort of meanders up into southern Michigan, it is going to be a little bit more scattered than what we went through here for the last few hours. So we'll call it scattered showers overnight, and some of those are going to last into tomorrow. Temperatures right now at Detroit, 53 degrees. We actually inched up to 54 here last hour, which was our warmest temperature that we have seen today. Numbers are going to be fairly steady in the low 50s overnight, and we're actually going to hit our high pretty close to some of the numbers you see down here when we get to mid-morning tomorrow. The other thing we're going to be watching are the winds. Right now, we don't see back here wind speeds all that high, a couple 17s here in Kankakee and Champaign, a little closer to the low. But by the time we get into the afternoon tomorrow, we're looking at gusty winds over 20 miles an hour, and that could take some afternoon temperatures in the 40s and make it feel like the 30s. So it is going to be a cool finish to tomorrow. But let's look at the rain first. This is overnight, and you can see those showers become more scattered, still around as we get through the morning hours for the commute. And then after noon, everything starts to dry up considerably. Still a couple drops around, but a lot less than what we'll be through in the morning. Then as we get into Wednesday, mostly dry until Wednesday late afternoon and into the evening. We'll start to see this next push of showers come in and get us wet. And I'm going to show you this, even though this is an outlier. This is the first model run that's showing us with any sort of snowfall on Thursday. I don't buy it. I want to see another couple model runs before I buy into this. But I think most of what we're going to see Thursday should be in the form of rain. This is 10 o'clock, by the way. We still got moisture on us. This is why we think that Friday forecast is going to be a close call. Right now, we're keeping opening day dry. But it is going to be close. Let's look at high temperatures tomorrow. This is your 4-zone forecast. And again, not too far from where we're at now, but these are going to be highs, and they'll come in the mid part of the morning, about 56, 57 there in our metro zone tomorrow. South zone, about 54 to 57. We're not going to see a huge range in temperatures tomorrow because of the clouds and the rain that's going to be around. 55 in Flint, Milford, you'll be at 54, 57 there in Canton. And even some of our coolest numbers, not going to be a whole lot different. 52 up in Sandusky will be about as chilliest as we get. There are those 40s in the afternoon under mostly dry conditions, probably feeling like the 30s once we get to around sunset because of the winds. And then again, right now we're keeping Friday dry. The weekend looks great. So even if they have an issue on Friday over at the ballpark, they'll get those weekend games in with no crowds.
No problem. Looking good. All right.
A daring rescue on the train tracks in New York City. A Good Samaritan carries a man off the tracks just moments before the subway passes through.
And comedian Mike Epps under fire for a stunt he pulled on stage during a show in Detroit. What he's saying about it and why the feds are now involved.
Books.
All right, welcome back. Comedian Mike Epps is apologizing for animal cruelty. Take a look here. He's dealing with backlash after this video hit social media.
Epps brought Javon Stacks and his kangaroo on stage during his Detroit show, and during the show, Epps tugs on the kangaroo's harness before the animal throws his paw at the star. Epps posted an apology saying he didn't mean to harm the animal, and he's going to donate to a foundation dedicated to saving animals. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, though, is still investigating the incident. Looking for something or someone, 3 home invaders ran through a home with guns drawn, and surveillance cameras caught it. These 3 men breaking into a house in a city just south of Houston. They ran through every room of the home looking for something, but taking nothing. A couple and their 3 young kids should have been home at the time, but fortunately they were out at a birthday party. Police are still searching for the home invaders.
Moments before the subway came through the Manhattan station, one man risked his life to save another who fell onto the tracks. 29-year-old Jonathan Kulig was headed to his overnight shift when he saw a man fall on the tracks. Jonathan jumped down and lifted the young man onto the platform where a woman helped grab him. A minute later, the train came roaring by. It's not clear why the young man fell, but he was in and out of consciousness as they waited for EMS. In central Louisiana, they've seen nearly 8 inches of rain there.
And as shoppers at a Walmart took cover inside, one caught a lightning strike that hit right near the parking lot.
No, I'm at that 4 o'clock. Just watching the hell
That's the sound you can make when you're inside.
Yeah, really.
The storm is part of a larger system that battered the state, left behind pockets of tornado damage and flooding, part of a long stretch of bad weather in the south last night.
Indeed.